So this morning we're talking about building strategic partnerships. Uh, Chris, I'll come back to that question in a second. We're talking about strategic partnerships. We've talked about this before. Today I'm going to focus specifically on financial advisors. I'm going to give some reasons why in the actual training. And yet before we even get there, Chris had a question about putting together a newsletter. There are templates in Canva if you just search real estate newsletter, and then you can tweak and change. I believe there are templates in Command as well. I personally use Canva. And once you've made that template once, it's saved and you can just update it every month. That is a great kind of on-task assignment we can do in one of the Tuesday sessions. So if you come to Tuesday group coaching, bring it up. We'll work on a newsletter. Matter of fact, we may even do it tomorrow. So let me allow everybody in. All right, so can you see my screen okay? Perfect. I was having issues with that last week too. So, like I said, we're talking strategic partnerships. Getting extraordinary results is all about creating a domino effect in your life. So what is one domino that you can knock down that will make the rest of your dominoes fall? This is from Gary Keller out of The One Thing. Today, we're talking about strategic partnerships. These are partnerships that not only you can send business to, they will send business to you. And what I want you to use this quote to think about is, what partnerships can we have that will not only send us business, but will make our business grow and easier to function? So the reason why I work so much by repeat and referral business is because it makes the conversion rates higher. When I'm going on a listing appointment, it is oftentimes to talk about the process or to share.
Huh? I want to take my kids.
It's oftentimes to talk about the process or to share what works or how it's going to work. It's not to earn their appointment, which would happen if I didn't already have them or if they weren't a strong referral. Now, the power of a network, this gives you opportunities to give value to your database and to develop your own skill set. So when it comes to parties on the transaction, we rely on each other for business to be done. We're talking about lenders at the start of this call. We obviously need a financial partner or a mortgage lender on most of our deals. Unless you're working with cash buyers, you're going to need a mortgage lender. If you have a strong mortgage lender, even if they can't necessarily send you referrals, they can make you look good by providing a higher level of service, which then ultimately brings referrals from the client. More importantly, at least in the early stages, they can also help you master the ins and outs of the home process. So when I first got into business, one of the very first appointments I went on was with a mortgage lender. We went and got lunch, and I asked him about his process and how things went and what he could share with me as a new agent. So for example, what is an FHA loan? Why is it good and why is it bad? What makes it different from a conventional loan or a VA loan? And he went over those different processes for me, and he gave me handouts to kind of remember everything. And then that grew over time, and I began to learn a lot more of the process by having strong powers in the or strong parties in the network. Today, we're going to focus on financial advisors. Now, the process that we're going to use today, you can use for any category, any strategic partner. I'm going to talk about a couple of reasons why we're using financial advisors in the beginning, and this is going to open up some opportunities for you to grow your network. So the average home price for someone who uses a financial advisor is $700,000. Does anybody on this call know the average sales price in our market for just a normal buyer?
400,000.
It's about 425. So in somebody working with a financial advisor, it's almost double. Now, the average financial advisor also works with around 100 families per year. If you have sellers who are selling and they have a lot of equity, which is a lot of the sellers, especially if they've bought more than 3 or 4 years ago, they've seen growth in their equity or how much value they're going to make when they sell their home. And this gives you opportunities to refer to financial advisors with what they should do with their proceeds, especially if you have folks that aren't going to necessarily be buying another home or don't want to put that entire equity dump back into their new home. Now, we have 3 types of financial advisors. There's a lower level or an entry level, which is under $1 million assets managed. It's typically 529s, which is like education or funds for your kids and life insurance policies. There's a mid-level, which is $1.5 million to $4 million in assets managed. And then there's a high level or a high wealth advisor. And you want to have one person at least in each of these categories. Now, why financial advisors? We just mentioned this. The average home price is $700K. The average financial advisor works with 100 families a year. About 3 or 4 years ago, the average of a database to move was 10% of your database. So if you have 100 people, 10 of them every year are going to move. Now, this isn't quite as high. It's probably closer to about 5 to 7% now. But for sake of argument and for easy math, we're going to use this 10%. So if a financial advisor is working with 100 families and 10 of them are going to move this year, and the average sales price is $700K, obviously commissions are not fixed. And yet I use 2 examples here. If 10 families move at $700K deals at 3% commission, that's $210,000 in commission opportunities. If it's 2.5%, that's $175,000 in commission opportunities from 10 deals referred to you from a financial advisor. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And we just talked about wanting to have one financial advisor at each level. So imagine if you had 30 referrals. Now, you're not necessarily going to get all of them, but that gives you a big chunk of well-qualified buyers that you could potentially work with to close deals. Now, you may say, how do I meet financial advisors? Here's 4 different ways you can do it. And really, 2 and 3 are kind of the same. Number 1, you're going to post on social media. I have a client looking for a financial advisor. Who do you love or recommend? Even if you don't have a client looking for a financial advisor, this is a great way for you to meet people.
So when they say, who's the person, what do you tell them?
You don't need to tell them yet. The whole point of this is we want to get to know them and meet with them and learn about their ideal client, which we're going to talk about in a second. It also buys you some time to start finding a client. We'll get to that in a second, though. Good question. You can also ask for direct referrals from your preferred vendors or other partners. So, for example, I may reach out to my lender and say, hey, do you have a good financial advisor you like? Would you mind introducing me to them?
Okay, that's...
Yeah. A warm introduction is almost always better than just giving you a name to call. If they do give you a name to call, you want to still give credit to the person that referred you. There's also what we call an all about you form. Now, if you email me when we are done and ask for the all about you form, I will send you a copy that you can save and use. So you don't have to create one. This is something when you're on a buyer or a seller consultation, you can fill out by asking them questions and getting to know them. I'll show you real quickly what it looks like. Can everyone see my screen? Okay, so this is an all about you form. It gets their general info, gets name of children, et cetera, et cetera. On the bottom here, it asks for you to answer questions if they have a financial planner and rate the level of satisfaction. For anybody an 8, 9, or 10, meaning they're highly satisfied, you want to ask for a warm introduction. If they put lower than an 8, you want to offer to suggest somebody to them. Or you can also ask, why is it not an 8, 9, or 10? And you can see there's 4 different types here, which are ones that we could start building our power or our network with. And then you can join networking groups. So BNI 212 are 2 examples. They typically have a financial advisor present. Now, a lot of these networking groups are going to cost money, but you can shadow them in the beginning or try them out and get introductions to people that you can then network with outside of the group, even if you decide not to join. Now, here's what you say once you meet with the financial advisor. Number 1, are you currently accepting new clients? If they say no, ask them why. Most of the time, they're going to say yes. To which you can follow up with, who is your ideal client? What is your target amount of assets under management? When I say determine tier, if they say I like working with early clients that don't have any financial management under their belt and they're learning how to start, that's tier 1. If they say I primarily work with high wealth individuals who have millions of dollars in assets to manage, that's tier 3. Sometimes they may say, I work with anybody. We have products no matter what your needs are. That's okay. You will start to figure out what they excel with and what they don't excel with the more you start to refer them. This one is important. How would you like to be introduced? Some people prefer text, some people prefer email, some people want you to give them their information and they call them. Some people want to have their information and you call them and introduce them that way. There's kind of a couple different ways, and you want to make sure you make a note of that and stick to that referral strategy. For
And you say
example,
connected instead of introduced?
sure. Yeah. For example, with myself, I like a group chat. So if somebody's sending me a referral, I want to be in a group chat with the two of them where they say, Austin, meet Lynn Ann. She's the buyer I was telling you about. Promised I'd get you guys connected. Take it from here. And then I can message Lynn Ann separately, and at the same time in that group chat, I can say, thanks, Chris, for sending Lynn Ann's info over. Lynn Ann, it's great to get connected. Do you have a good time to call? I do a couple of things with this. A, I'm showing the referral source that I'm respecting the referral and answering it right away. And I'm thanking them for the referral. And B, I'm giving you an opportunity to answer to set up a time to talk outside of that. When you meet with financial advisors and you start offering to send them referrals, they're typically going to ask, well, what's in it for me? Or why are you coming to me to send me referrals? What's in it for you? That's where you can say, I only have one ask. When you do your semi or annual review, because every financial advisor does one, meaning they're going to review all of their current clients and where they're at in their financial picture, you ask them to ask this question, meaning put it on their annual review. Most of the financial advisors are going to send out a form very similar to all about you form that's going to have questions regarding their financial plans and goals.
What's the question?
Are you planning on buying, selling, refinancing, or investing
Okay, I see.
in the next 12 months? Now, every time I do this training, I get the question, why are you asking about refinancing? And sometimes a financial advisor may say, why do you care if they're refinancing? You can say, well, because I have a great mortgage lender partner that I can refer them to. All right. My favorite section of this whole training. Does anybody on the call know what a reticular activator is? And no, it's not something from Back to the Future.
It's part of your the amygdala, and the amygdala remembers things that have happened and quickly processes how you respond to them. And the reticular part is got something to do with how it makes you move forward.
Exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. So the best example I can give to illustrate this is if you've ever bought a car, it says buy a new car. It could be, it's new to you. It doesn't have to be a brand new car. But anytime you buy a car, or even it happens sometimes when you start shopping for a car, do you notice then you start seeing that car everywhere? Even if you didn't notice it before, all of a sudden it becomes from the back of mind to top of mind and you start becoming more aware of it. Well, the reticular activator is what's activating that response, or you're starting to see it everywhere. I've started looking for new trucks, and now I start seeing new trucks everywhere. And it's funny because whatever brand I decide to start looking into more often, I start seeing more often. So the reticular activator can also be applied to your business. So we can activate that part for our clients. What I mean by that is when they're looking to buy a new home, all of a sudden they start coming across or having conversations with people that are also buying a new home. Now, sometimes it happens where they just bought, but more often than not, they may find people in their world that are starting to think about buying a house because they're in that world. So their reticular activator becomes activated and they start becoming aware of these things. This is a quote that I got from a training with another coach, and I've started implementing it in my business. And the first time I tried it was Thursday of last week, and it worked very well. Where I'm already receiving referrals from that person, and he hasn't even bought a house yet. In a conversation with the buyer, I say, just so you know, my average client refers me 2 people throughout the transaction. I bring this up now because there are going to be opportunities or times throughout the transaction where I'm going to ask you if you know anybody looking to buy or sell. You're going to have 3 types of responses to that. The first one, oh, I don't know anyone looking to buy. That's okay. Oftentimes people don't know anybody off the top of their head. If you come across anybody, just let me know or keep me in mind. I'd be happy to make I'd love for you to make an introduction. That's kind of your lower level tier. Your mid-level tier says something to the effect of like, yeah, okay, I think I can do that. I'd definitely keep you in mind. And once we find me a house, I'd be happy to refer you. They kind of like make a little jab or a joke about it. Like, hey, don't be asking for referrals. Take care of my needs first. And then you hit the third type. Now, this is my favorite type because they're wired like I am, where they hear my average client refers me 2 people per transaction and they want to beat 2 people. They go, just 2? I can get you 3. Those are high D or highly competitive people, and they oftentimes run in circles with other highly competitive people. These should be treated like A's or like referral rock stars. And if they own a business that you can refer business to, they should become a part of your network. Now, you should give value to your vendors. So when you meet with that financial advisor or any of your vendors, they may ask what you offer. Even if you don't have a direct referral, kind of back to the point earlier, you can even say, now I don't condone lying. However, you can say that client ended up going in a different direction. However, while I have you, I'd love to establish a connection with you and start building rapport so I can send you referrals in the future. Some of the other things I do with my vendors are add their info to my newsletters that goes out to my database every month. We meet often to talk about growing our businesses. We can sponsor each other's events. And then very important, that's becoming ever more popular, is hosting happy hours and or networking opportunities with your contractors or your vendors. You can market to your database, hey, come meet my preferred vendor network, and host a happy hour or a networking opportunity with all of those people. The next 2 slides are going to go pretty quick because I don't want to spend too much time talking about all of them, but I'm giving you examples of other people that you can apply this same process to. These are parties to the transaction. So your mortgage lender, like we talked about, title and closing, you want to have a home inspector, a termite company, insurance needs. Depending on the transaction, you may need well and septic or survey. And then a bunch of home improvement specialists. Now, these are not all of them. These are just a lot of them. Another homework assignment for you is going to be take out a piece of paper in the next 24 hours and start writing down lists of contractors or vendors that you've used that you like that could be in your network. They don't also have to be on this list. They can just be anybody that you would be willing to send referrals to. You can also reach out to agent connections or other referrals to build your list. So for example, you have a fence company that you really like. You may ask them, hey, do you have a bath and tile person you prefer? Or do y'all refer out drywall work? Or do you have somebody that does decks? Or so on and so forth. And then tomorrow, we're going to work on reaching out to these folks to get to know them and ask to meet with them one-on-one. Some of our homework, we just mentioned this. We're going to work on a list tomorrow and we're going to start reaching out to them. And then lastly, I know I'm moving quick today. You want to make sure you've added all your preferred vendors to your social media accounts when you send them referrals, or you can tag them in related business posts. Some of the most common referrals I get are people on my Facebook will post, need a new fence, who do you love? And I can comment on it and tag my person. We mentioned this last week. You can also do your Tuesday testimonial post to give recommendations to preferred vendors and tag them. So you can leave a review for a vendor you've worked with and tag them in your social media posts. We can co-brand content like in our newsletters. And you can even do content creation with vendors. For example, maybe you meet them on a job site and you say, hey, this is how great our fencing contractor is. They're staking and cleaning up the yard while they do it. Questions, thoughts, comments, concerns. We rolled through that today. That was intentionally quick.
What was the last comment you made?
You can do content creation with your vendors.
Right.
This works especially well to people like parties in the transaction too, where you can sit there and do a video with the lender to go over a certain loan type or a certain strategy. You can also meet with like vendors on the site. So it may be, hey, we're out here at 123 Main Street that our client just closed on. We met with Miners Fencing. They're here now cleaning up the yard and doing the fence at the same time. We refer them for all our fencing needs. By the way, if you need anything, reach out to us. Like it can be a quick selfie video while your folks are in the back. Now, obviously, before you do any co-content, get permission or get them on board, but it is common to do this. And then a couple of reminders or recap. If you want that all about you form, shoot me an email and I will send it to you. And then start working on your preferred vendor list today. Now, we're going to have a couple of opportunities coming out that are going to be ways to meet more vendors, whether it's a vendor fair in the office, or I have some of my own that are eager to meet new agents. So I will be making connections that way too, which is why you need to make that list for tomorrow's group coaching, because when you come in, we're going to work on filling the blanks as well. So we're going to target specific areas that you don't have. So you may come down and like, I got all the parties of the transactions, but I don't have any of the home improvement services. Well, that's where I can come in as your coach and help you connect those dots. It also makes me look good when I'm referring agents just as much as I'm referring clients, because that expands the impact they can have. If I connect them with 7 or 8 agents, all of a sudden those agents can also start sending their people to them. So I'm tapping into other databases for our vendors, which is a win-win for all parties. And I've already vetted them for you, so you don't have to worry about doing that process. Cool. All right, any questions, thoughts?
Yes.
Yep.
What is the young lady who always comes to do Cavalier moving?
Kylie.
Kylie?
Yep, Stonebroker.
How do you spell that?
Kylie.
And what's her last name?
Stonebroker. Stone, STONEBRAKER.
Is that hyphenated?
Nope.
Okay. All right. And she's the
moving side. She's the marketing coordinator for the moving side.
Okay, great. Thank you.
And then Allie is her sister. I cannot remember Allie's last name. Or Allie is the owner of Cavalier Moving sister. I cannot remember her name or last name off the top of my head.
Yeah, she's the cleaning person.
She's the cleaning crew. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Any other thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? I know today was quick. That's okay.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
I saw your amazing coming soon listing. So you're looking for somebody to do open houses. I think whoever is on this call has a first dip to do so.
Yeah, which one? I got 2.
I think this was the one in Mechanicsville.
The big one, the brick one?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we're finishing some repairs, so I don't have a date for you yet. Just a little coaching tip. July 1, the coming soon addendum changed, and you can now do coming soon for up to 45 days. So we are getting those signed much sooner. I should hear back from him today on a signing an estimate to get some of those repairs done. But yes, I will put you down as an opportunity to do that.
And I would love to, host with 2 or 3 as an agent, because
that's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say next, is those of you that have not done open houses, that would be a great shadow opportunity for you. We are going to be improving our system for both open houses and tracking in general. I am in the process of hiring an assistant. Now they will be virtual through Cyberbacker, but they will be on all of our calls. Those of you that have done other trainings or MAPS coaching sessions, every MAPS coach has an assistant, which is why my MAPS coach is making me do the same. But it will be a value add to all of you guys. So for example, instead of saying, email me and I'll email you the all about you form, when I have my assistant onboarded, I will be able to say, type your email in the chat and my assistant will send you the all about you form right now. And it will happen a lot quicker. Same thing with open houses. We'll keep a better track of what listings are available where. That will also be a value add to the whole market center, because I know some agents that are not on this call will ask for an open house on a Friday to be done Saturday or Sunday. And that's not good. We don't like that. And I have to fuss at them. I want to hear Tuesday, Wednesday of the week when they want an open house. So tomorrow when we share listings and buyer needs, I will be sure to bring it up. We have agents that want to do open houses. Let us know. Cool. Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah. for any of the open houses, wise, I would like to be on that list also to shout out open house.
Sweet. Awesome. I got you both down.
Okay.
Anything else?
Me too, me too.
Good. Putting
Me
you down.
three.
Perfect.
And I would like to as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Oops. All right. Okay. That's all I got today. I will see most of you tomorrow, hopefully in the training room. And if you need anything in the meantime, reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.